Yo, what's up? It's Molo, and welcome to my channel. So, for those of you that have been following me over the past couple of years, understand that I've switched from just speaking motivation and success to a more holistic approach. I talk more about health now, I talk more about relationships as well, mind, body, soul, that type of thing. So, and the reason for that is because 2016, I was flying high, exercising, meditating, working on myself, personal development. My vision was clear. Man, I knew where I was going. I was working hard. I had disciplined myself and removed any other thing that I felt could hinder me from getting to where I wanted to get. But what I noticed is I started suffering from pre-diabetic symptoms, and I didn't understand how that was. So, and that is basically what triggered me to realize that, hey, listen, there is no success without health. So one of the first things that I began to be aware of the fact that is that there is no success without health. I guess there's a couple of things that I have learned, and one of them is the fact that your health is everything. Especially if you plan to become somebody or successful, or you intend to live a long life. Truth be told, it makes no sense to call yourself successful if you are constantly sick in hospital, if you're constantly taking pills and medications, if you're in and out seeing the doctor, therapy and all that stuff. No matter how much money you have, you could not call yourself successful. So the first thing I would say to me is that health and success are one thing. The only ever time you can ever call yourself successful is if you're also healthy, whether it's mentally, physically, or emotionally. But it is very critical that one gets a huge balance inside of their body to make sure they can function the way they're supposed to function, so they can go into the world and do the things that they're supposed to do. So what I would say to you is this: if you intend to become successful, you got to understand the first and most important thing is your health, because without that, everything else falls off. Second thing I learned was that it takes courage and discipline to become successful. The principles about success, those of us that are in personal development, we apply them. But I don't think, personally, we apply them in terms of our health, because I was also equally very ignorant of the fact that my health is as equally important as my spirituality and perhaps my mental state, right? So, it takes courage, number one, to accept. For me, it took courage to accept the fact that the way that I grew up eating, the food that I grew up loving, the type of lifestyle that I was engaged in, that I had been engaged in my whole life, was wrong. It took courage for me to get to a place where I accepted that. And over and above that, I had to then say, okay, cool, now that I see what is causing my problem, now that I see that it's not something outside of me that is causing my health problem, what do? I had to now then discipline myself to say, you know what? I understand that you might love this food. I understand that you might have grown up eating this way. I understand that even your body might have some form of addiction and craving towards this food. But at the end of the day, this no longer serves you. This no longer fits into the puzzle that helps you become successful. So true discipline really is self-love, or self-love is self-discipline. The ability to understand that what I put in my body is gonna cause me harm, and I love myself enough to not do that. And for me, it took absolute courage to say, you know what, I'm gonna let go of this lifestyle and I'm gonna take on a whole plant-based diet, and I'm gonna be vegan. It was a hard choice to make, but I knew there was a decision that I had to make if I intended to become successful, right? So the third thing that I learned was the fact that your health, it is your responsibility, and your responsibility alone. We live in a world today where we are sort of, it's wishy-washy. We are told that you can eat and live whichever way you like. You can do whatever you want. And if you have any health problems, the doctor is there to assist you. That you don't have to worry about your health. It is somebody else's responsibility. You can eat and drink whatever you want, and should you fall sick, somebody else will take care of you and your health. For me, that is the illusion that we are caught up in. Because truth be told, your health cannot be somebody else's responsibility. It could not. I became aware of the fact that even the people that I used to look up to educate me on the food that I was supposed to eat, and even the medication I was supposed to take when I had to heal myself, I became aware of the fact that there is a huge deception that is going on that takes great mental discipline and great mental gymnastics to be able to look at all the information that exists and say, I see what the truth is outside of what the social norm is. So for me, I began to be aware of the fact that It is not the doctor who's supposed to tell me what to eat. It is not the doctor who's supposed to tell me how to heal myself. It is my responsibility to find out what is consistent with my genetic make and eat according to how my body wants to be nourished. And secondly, understand that healing, it is something that is absolutely natural as long as I let go of the things that bring disease into my body. So for me, it took me saying I will take responsibility, and I threw away my food and I threw away my junk food, and I ventured into an unknown world of plant-based living. But eventually I was able to cure myself of my diabetes, and I was able to have my energy back, and I was able to have my mental clarity and my emotional state, and my body was back functioning the way I was supposed to function, and I could go into the world now and do the things that I wanted to do. You see what I'm saying? So had I never taken responsibility over my health, had I never understood that the way that I have been eating and living my whole life is wrong, and actually studied what was wrong with it and how my body was responding to what I was feeding it and changed, I wouldn't have been where I am today. But I'm in a better place financially, emotionally, mentally, and physically because I did not look for somebody else to take responsibility over my health. I did that. I didn't allow the system to exploit me. So what I just want to say to you is this. Understand that you live in a hoax. You live in the matrix. There is information that is good for you, information that is bad for you. And most of the time you're exposed to bad information. But because it's collectively practiced, we accept it as normal. But at the end of the day, we suffer individually. And because the system is designed for deception, you and I don't even know where to go when we get sick. However, I'm trying to propose something to you so you can realize that nobody else is responsible for your success and your health, and you are. So I'm trying to say to you is look towards the social narratives. Understand what is wrong and put yourself in a situation to win by looking at what the collective is doing and going against it. All right? So I just want to say that to you, man, because I believe that you want to become successful. I believe that you want your family to be healthy. But the only way that will happen is if you look the truth in the eye and say, you know what, I'm going to face you and I'm not going to run away from you. And I will make the adjustments that I need to make because this is superior logic. I cannot argue with it. So yes, family, thank you for your time. I truly appreciate and understand that I will continue to do these videos on health and education, on success, but I will combine them because there is no success without health. I thank you for your time. I truly appreciate it. Cheers. I'll catch you on the next video. And please don't forget to subscribe because there's a lot more videos coming our way. Cheers.